You understand? That's alpaca. That's $25,000 alpaca. You block that shit. Right. You don't rubble. Put the club soda on there.
Mafioso, mafioso, mafioso,
What's good? What's good? What's good, peoples? I am Kwaku King Nabby. I am the Gangster Movie Guru. This is a top 5 series, baby. Yes, we're back with the top 5 list. Today's list, as you can see, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Today we're gonna do the top 5 flyest gangsters in gangster movie history, which is why I got the nice fly threads on. You feel me? Gangster shit, no tie, of course, no necktie. You know, keep it gangster. You feel me? Little purple, little pocket square. You know, fluffed up. You feel me? I clean up pretty well. Don't you agree? You don't agree? Forget you then. I ain't like you anyway.
Pushing big dicks and packing our chrome. We the FLYEST Gangsters.
Follow.
Now, in gangster movies, in gangsterdom in general, being fly a lot of times is a prerequisite.
You understand? That's alpaca. That's $25,000 alpaca. You block that shit. Right. You don't rubble. Put the club soda on there.
For a lot of bosses, a lot of gangsters in general. Having the flyest threads, the house, the lady, the cars, whatever. Having those material examples of the fruits of your labor are very important to a lot of these guys. And we want to showcase who are the top 5, the 5 greatest to do it in gangster movie history. Number 5. Yes, 5. The number 5 flyest gangster in gangster movie history is none other than Little Caesar, Rico, played by Edward G. Robinson from the 1931 film, Little Caesar. Now, Little Caesar, he always had the flyest full suits, whether it was a pinstripe, whether it was a solid, it was 3-piece. Of course, this is a black and white film, so you don't get the color. You don't have the colors vibrating through the lens, through your TV screen. So you can't see that. However, I had to big him up. I had to give props to the OG because this is a 1931 film, and this really started or showed us the fly of the Italian mob, that style, that 3-piece suit. They even wore the necktie, sometimes not the necktie. When he got awarded at the Palermo Club, he was getting sized up, you know, for the tuxedo. Being fly was extremely important to this character, Little Caesar, and he showed it a lot in the movie Little Caesar. Big up to him. The number 5 flyest gangster. Number 4. The number 4 flyest gangster in gangster movie history is none other than Sam Rothstein, aka Ace. Sam the Ace Rothstein from the film Casino, the Martin Scorsese film from the 90s. We all know and love. It's a classic. And Sam Rothstein, I mean, if you look at, let me just put his fly in a nutshell. Watch the Street Dreams video by Nas when he comes out in the pink suit with the cigar. Yeah, that's Sam Rothstein inspired. Sam Rothstein inspired a whole wave. He had the colorful suits. I don't know, he might have had it before, you know, y'all church goers and Be More and all that before y'all started coming with the fly, colorful suits. I don't know, y'all probably had it first, so I gotta give it to the brothers and sisters. Y'all probably had it first, but way back, Sam Rothstein came with the colorful suits. He was doing the no tie, he was doing the turtleneck under the jacket. He had the ill cigar, he had the glasses, the shades. He kept his woman, Ginger, played by Sharon Stone. He kept her gorgeous with the long fur coats. Everything about this dude was fly. He was working in the Vegas casinos. He had to be fly, and he showed it on a consistent basis. what his dress, his wares were extremely important to him. That's why he's a number 4 flyest gangster in gangster movie history, Sam Rothstein from Casino. Number 3, we're in the top 3 now. You know how it is. We are in the top 3. These are the greatest of the greatest. The top 3 flyest gangsters in gangster movie history, not including myself, Kwaku King Nabby, because I was never in the gangster movie, although I like watching them. But I don't qualify for this list, unfortunately. However, this person at number 3 does. The number 3 flyest gangster in gangster movie history is none other than Money Mitch, played by Mekhi Phifer in the cult classic Paid in Full. Yes, number 3, number 3, number 3, number 3, however you do your 3, he is the third greatest, the third flyest gangster in gangster movie history. Money Mitch, if y'all saw Paid in Full, y'all already know what it is. He was all about being fly. He had to teach Ace about being fly. He said he loves the game. He loves it when people sees him. He loves it when they're on 140th or 125th, whatever it was, on Lennox, and all the gangsters came out to play. They all had the cars. I mean, he had the drop top. He always had the dookie, the chains. He would rock the velour suits. Everything that counted, 80s gangster, hustler, fly. And of course, Harlem. I'm a Brooklyn guy, but I gotta give it up to Harlem because they define fly in New York City and in the world. A lot of times I can't even front. And Ace was a Harlem guy. Or excuse me, I'm sorry. Mitch, well, Ace was, but Mitch is who we're talking about. Mitch was a Harlem guy. Mekhi Phifer's a Harlem guy in real life. And he just exemplified fly in that movie. He was straight 80s fly, from the chains to the suits, to the Gucci, to the cars. He was doing the big to his attitude, and that's number 1, is that Mitch had that fly attitude. It ran through his blood. He was a Harlem nigga to the death, and uptown, and you saw it. You saw it through and through. The third greatest, third flyest gangster in gangster movie history, Money Mitch, Paid in Full. Number 2, y'all. Unfortunately, we're coming to a close. We're at number 2 already. The number 2, the second flyest. Papoose says second place is a first loser, but I'll just say second place is almost the winner. He's the second greatest, second flyest gangster in gangster movie history. It's none other than Priest from Superfly. Yes, Priest from Superfly, Ron O'Neal. I'm sorry, this is difficult for me. This is difficult because I know his nickname is Superfly. He's Ron O'Neal. You already know Ron O'Neal. We're going to get into Ron O'Neal, the car, everything. How can he not be number 1? I know. This was tough for me. But number 1 is number 1 for a reason. I'll let you know why. Just because number 1 is so iconic. But Superfly, he's number 2. He's one of the second greatest in gangster movie history. That is an extreme achievement. And the reason why is because not only was his nickname Superfly, so of course he had to be on the list, but his wares throughout the entire film. I mean, just from the clothes, I mean, the suits, the big collars, you know, the early 70s swag, to the car. Let's hold up on the car. Now, we could go into the car. Let's go into the car. The car was early 70s, maybe 70, 71, 72, Cadillac Eldorado drop top. Customized by Dunham Motors in New Jersey, who provided the Rolls-Royce custom grille, gave it the egg headlights, gave it the flying, you know, lady, the spur, whatever you call it, on the front. Just totally decked the car out, and the car is iconic. His look is iconic. The hats, the big hats with the big brims, everything was just magnificently fly about that movie and about Superfly. And the third thing that we need to get into was Ron O'Neal and this man's hair. This man had the slick perm that was just super laid before ASAP Rocky, before all of your favorite pimps. Superfly had the laid joint. I mean, just, he was super fly. I'm sorry he's not number one, but he's not. But Superfly just exemplified it to a T. Matter of fact, Superfly and his look, I gotta say this because it's on my, he reminds me of my man JT, my man John. Big ups to him. Shout out to you, my brother. You're the reincarnation of Ron O'Neal. May Ron O'Neal rest in peace. Because he just had that fly look and the ladies loved him, everything. He was that dude. The second greatest. One of the greatest of all time. One of the flyest. Second flyest of all time gangsters in gangster movie history. Priest from Superfly, played by Ron O'Neal. Deep breath. We're at the end, baby. We are at the number one. Now, for the number one, the greatest, the flyest gangster in the history of all time, greatest, flyest gangster in the history of gangster movie history, gangster movie is, drum roll please, yeah, flash it.
You block that shit. Right. You don't rubble. Put the club soda on there.
The greatest, the number one, flyest gangster in gangster movie history is none other than Tony Montana, played by Al Pacino, from the film Scarface. Yes, one of the greatest gangster films of all time, if not the greatest. Yes, he is the flyest gangster in the history of gangster movies, and this is the reason why. Tony Montana was so iconic, so influential. He influenced a whole generation of real life and fictional gangsters as far as the dress, how he dressed. He had the big collar under the jacket with the I mean, alone, the poster alone, that alone is iconic. Him with his, you know, sitting back with the beach paint picture behind him, iconic. The world is yours. The home, he was the definition of opulence. From the home, the mansion, the sculptures within the home, the beauty, the world is yours, the globe. He had the blimp passing by saying the world is yours. That's fly shit. The clothes, how he washed his money, the cars, copping the whip cash at the dealership, fly shit. Had his girl laced. Was in the jacuzzi smoking a cigar in the bubble bath, fly shit. Oh, he was the definition of fly. I don't think that there's anything that anyone can say to argue this. I understand that Superfly, I know, but Scarface is just so iconic. He has to be number one. He is the greatest. He is the flyest gangster in gangster movie history. Even when he went out in his death, he had a mountain of coke. That's fly gangster shit. You feel me? And he's just the flyest gangster in the history of gangster movies. The fly, he would make Ric Flair proud.
My shoes cost more than your house.
You feel me? So, once again, I am Kwaku King Nabby. This was the top 5 flyest gangsters in gangster movie history. The flyest gangster, Tony Montana, played by Al Pacino from the movie Scarface. Once again, the views and opinions expressed in these videos, in these shows, are the views and opinions of myself, Kwaku King Nabby, the flyest guy talking about movies in front of a camera or off camera for that matter. Don't debate me. You feel me? But yeah, I appreciate everyone who's been liking, subscribing. Please like, subscribe, view, comment, all of that. I appreciate it. Let's run these numbers up. I'm gonna keep going regardless because I love doing this. It's fun to do. Hope that y'all are enjoying it as well. We're gonna keep on coming with the content. Hit me up on all the social media. It'll all be down below. Check my other videos. I'll have links down below as well. Thank you once again. I am Kwaku King Nabby. I am the gangster movie guru. And I'm not the gangster movie guru because I'm a gangster who's a movie guru. I'm the gangster movie guru because I'm a movie guru on gangster movies, and I know what the hell I'm talking about, and I'm the flyest doing it. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, fly shit. Hold up. Oh, yeah, I'll put that away though. Okay. Yeah. One love. I love y'all. Creativity, abundance, and prosperity to all, and I'm out.
You understand? That's alpaca. That's $25,000 alpaca. You block that shit. Right. You don't rubble. Put the club soda on there.
Bitches in heat for niggas that got dough. We the FLYEST